What's up, everybody? It's John McGarrett's with another Christian commentary, and I saw this video about a lady who had quit TikTok or quit something to start a YouTube channel about being a Christian or whatever. She just released a second video saying this is the sin that leads you into um, what was it? Sorry. Um,
This
I gave up what was leading me into sin. And it was like a 10-minute video where she's pretty much talking about pride and then just going over a bunch of um, examples of it. And I would wholeheartedly agree that pride is probably the number one sin that causes most people to sin or uh, causes most problems in people's lives. It was really funny to me. She brought up multiple times that like she left her family, whatever, because she's so independent. She's done everything by herself. Um, I'm an independent woman. I can do anything, whatever. And yeah, like uh, I'm not bashing her or other. It's just there's a lot of people that feel this way. That independence, that they're independent, and pride. I feel like blinds them. And Lord forgive me for my pride and my own ego. I'm not trying to be better. I'm just like commenting on how I see things. And it's like I catch myself in this too, my own personal experience. So this is why I think, make this sort of, this is why this is revealed to me um, through experience and stuff like that. It's what I observed is that like when we get caught in pride, you become blind to the punch that knocks you out. The punch, the punch that gets you is the thing that gets you is the thing you never see coming. And if you're full of pride, essentially what I've noticed is that it signals to your body that there's no danger to be afraid of because you've got it. And in doing that, I think it's like foolish just on a fundamental level. You can make arguments from the secular perspective too that being prideful will lead to your demise because yes, you'll have more confidence, so you'll take more risks. So in doing more risks over a long period of time throughout your system, like you have a higher chance of like getting making a play that generates a lot of resources for your species. But more often than not, if you're prideful, you're not looking at that false confidence. You're not looking at the danger of all the situations and the different environments you're going into. So then you will be utterly destroyed if that environment changes whatsoever. Um, so the reason why I bring that up is because if we are prideful and Americans are very, very prideful, and Europeans are very, very prideful, and a lot of people in the first world are super prideful. But being a prepper and having just a lot of bad things happen to me in my life, I feel like I struggle with pride a little bit less than most people because I have a low self worth, and I don't really fight against that low self worth. But that comes with its own problems like depression and stuff like that. And I'm not trying to say that I'm better. So you know what I mean. Like that sounds kind of prideful when I say that out loud, but I'm just trying to give my perspective. But yeah, struggling a little bit. But um, in being having such a low self worth, I always double guess everything I do, and it leads to me to make better decisions. It seems, but so the pridefulness of an American in the first world. I also want to say like we live in a world where there is no danger yet, but the bill is going to become due. Like people who are like internet tough guys is a perfect example. Internet tough guys are so full of pride, and they're so prideful to think that danger won't come to them. But we are like on the technology is becoming easier and easier for people to learn and adapt to and try to like use. So like these internet tough guys don't realize that like eventually your standard aggressive psychopath will be able to find out your location and come deliver violence to you for the words you say. And people think it's just the internet; it's not real life. Everything in this life is real life, and so that prideful is gonna that being that prideful and being super tough on the internet is going to lead to a bill that has to be paid, whether in this life or the next life, but in this life for sure, probably. And like you'll be confident behind the screens, then you'll gain confidence in your pride throughout your your real life, and you'll get to a point where you'll slip up with like a cop, or you'll slip up with like somebody who don't give a fuck about the law, and you're gonna get fucked up. Um, or you're going to lose somebody super close to you because you'll slip up, and the way you treat others on the internet is like, in a way, is how you're going to treat people. It's going to bleed into your life. You can't separate those two things. Um, so there's that. And then the other thing too is that like people think that we're independent when we live in such a fragile economy. COVID, for example, if anybody thinks that they're independent whatsoever and they'll be able to survive a supply chain collapse like we did in COVID, which was just a sneeze, a hiccup, then you are a fool. And like we are we're every single day one set of actions to an entire supply chain collapse, which will cause another apocalypse like the Bronze Age collapse, where there'll be people eating each other, um, like mass amounts of crime, mass amounts of like whatever. So like these like there's so many things that if you just think about it for 20 seconds, that you are in your pride not taking into account, that will utterly destroy you, and horribly, horribly destroy you. Saying the wrong thing to the wrong person, thinking that you got it, you know what I mean? So you need to stop working and stop trying to be better yourself, stop trying to prepare more, stop trying to like amass wealth and generators of wealth and just skill sets to survive in like low tech environments. Um, it's just pride is going to lead to the death of the first world because we're going to hit that limit. We're going to hit an obstacle where our just in time supply chain is not going to be able to protect us. Um, you know, and this is all within God's will, is what I'm saying. But the pridefulness of man, when God, in my experience, if I give in to pride or I see others give in to pride, God lets them become their own gods, and then see how you can do it. And he lets the ball, he lets you go, he lets you try, and he pulls his favor from you, he pulls his covering from you, and he lets you try, and you get fucked up every single fucking time. So that's my little rants about pride, and it is the sin that will destroy you. So it is number one, and I do implore people to drop pride, um, to look in the mirror and say to yourself, you know how there's like affirmations, positive affirmations. I want you to go to the mirror and say, I am a piece of shit, and then that will signal to your body almost immediately about a lot of anxiety and a lot of uncomfortable thoughts, especially if you mean it. But then at least you'll be starting to analyze where your weaknesses and your faults are, so you can actually start working on yourself instead of being a prideful retard. Sorry, excuse my language. I'm not sorry. I think it's kind of, there's people who are mentally challenged, and then there's people who are mentally challenged through disease or whatever. But if you are prideful, you are voluntarily making yourself a retard. So if you want to be that way, that's fine. But retards need to be protected, and retards aren't independent. So I guess whatever. If you don't follow God's law, it inhibits you in every level. So it makes you fundamentally just like like you are lowering yourself as a lower conscious being by falling away from moral truth. So God bless you guys, and I'll see you in the next episode. This one's kind of, I'm saying, feels a little cringe, but I'm just trying to speak from the heart and just whatever. Christian commentary. Peace out. God bless you.